Voice of Change News.
This is Voice of Change Radio News. I'm Amanda Kumalo. A quick look at stories making the headlines. Zim SA leaders meet over border issues. In business news, Zim's air traffic passenger volume sees 13.4% uptick. In regional and international news, new UK, Canadian, Swedish, Saudi envoys present credentials. In sports news, CAF want Rufaro fixed. The news in detail. President Mnangagwa is today expected to meet his South African counterpart, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, for the launch of the Border Management Authority, BMA, in Messina, Limpopo province. The two leaders are also expected to jointly tour the Beitbridge border post before having their meeting in South Africa's border town. It is understood that, among other things on the agenda, the two leaders will deliberate on a number of border-related issues. Zimbabwe has transformed its component of the border in a move that is set to improve efficiency and match the development matrix between South Africa and its neighbor to the north. Moving on to business news. The volume of Zimbabwe's air transport passengers rose by 13.4% to 436,022 in the second quarter of this year, buoyed by various initiatives instituted by the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority to attract foreign airlines into the country. This followed the negative impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the tourism industry. Since its inception, President Mnangagwa's government has vigorously pursued an agenda to transform the country into an upper-middle-income country by 2030. On the tourism front, this is being done through the implementation of the Open Skies policy. In regional and international news, President Mnangagwa yesterday received credentials from new ambassadors from the United Kingdom, Saudi Arabia, Canada, and Sweden, with all of them pledging to strengthen relations and cooperation with Zimbabwe in various fields as the country's engagement and re-engagement policy continues to scale new heights. Speaking in separate interviews after individually meeting President Mnangagwa in closed-door meetings at State House in Harare, the four diplomats expressed their country's preparedness to scale up relations with Zimbabwe on all fronts, giving impetus to the Second Republic's friend to all and enemy to none diplomatic thrust. Following his meeting with the president, the UK's incoming ambassador to Zimbabwe, Mr. Peter Vallis, who spoke in Shona fluently whilst presenting his credentials to the head of state, said Harare and London enjoyed a deep personal connection. And finally, in sports news, the Confederation of African Football have made extensive recommendations for Rufaro Stadium, which has been closed for the past 4 years due to its state of disrepair. The former mayor of Harare, Jacob Mafume, reviewed at the handover takeover with his successor Ian Makone at Rufaro Stadium yesterday that the CAF inspection team was concerned with areas such as the tunnel used by the players, the changing rooms, the toilets, the lack of bucket seats and electronic turnstiles, among a catalogue of areas of improvement. That brings us to the end of this bulletin.
Voice of Change News.